And welcome back. So South Africans are said to find humor in even the most depressing of situations. Well, Comedy Central Africa and one of the popular fast food brands have been saying practically with country going astir with the 30 years of democracy and the upcoming elections, South Africans can now engage in some of the really serious topics emerging from this period, but this time with a comedic catch. A new upcoming comedy show, 30 Years of DemoCRAZY, a roast of South Africa with filmmaker and comedian Kagiso Lediga at the helm. Lediga joins us now in studio to tell us more. DemoCRAZY, good morning.
Hello. So I take it you're not allowed to say Nando's on TV.
No, you can say Nando's.
Okay. It was like a popular fast food chicken outlet. Okay, yeah. Hello, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Working with Nando's. Okay, yes. Tell us about DemoCRAZY.
We're calling it the nation, a birthday cake for the nation. Mm-hmm. It's a variety show. It's an everything show. I think it's going to be the funniest show maybe since in the last decade, in the last 3 decades. It's going to be like extremely fun. It's like a great lineup of people. Chester Missing, Pops, Skumba, Loiso Gola, Celeste and Tuli, Namaste Bay, and many, many more. Many more. You know those ones?
Yeah, like many more. Like they're just there. More.
Yeah, and music. It's like it's a musical. Let's call a musical and comedic birthday cake.
DemoCRAZY.
A funny musical birthday cake.
But
for the nation.
Normally with the roast, you'd have an individual who's being roasted, and here we are roasting South Africa. So who's going to be standing there as a symbol of South Africa? How does it work?
You have to come and see. But I mean, I think it's also like a trip down memory lane. It's because it's 30 years. It's like how South Africa is. Before 30 years, there was nothing. It was like the Big Bang happened 30 years, and then we don't talk about what
there was no South Africa before that.
Yeah. But so it's that. It's a commentary piece, kind of going down memory lane as well. Not just news, but like culture, like all the kind of crazy things that have happened in the past 30 years.
Yeah. You said there'll be musical performances as well?
There'll be musical, it's like, it's sort of like a musical theater. It's a variety, Broadway-ish kind of theater piece type of thing.
You singing?
I might. There might be other people singing. All the people that I've mentioned might be singing as well. It's like a stew. I mean, like it's one of these things that I can't believe. Like, you have to see it to kind of like you have to experience it. I know that there's like a few tickets still left for the Gold Reef City part, but it's also going on air on Comedy Central on election day. But yeah, it's for me. I mean, I come from sketch comedy, so the idea was shows like the Pure Minati show, the Bantu Hour. Putting that on stage in some way, late night news, we have like Chester Missing there, skewering the culture, skewering the politician. He's actually out on the streets now. He was chasing Jacob Zuma 2 days ago. He was chasing.
I was with Conrad actually on Friday, Constitutional Hill. Yeah.
So he's out there that's an element of the show as well. What he's out there doing on the streets, and there's gonna be like Gola doing stand up, Loiso Madinga and RJ Benjamin are doing like all the kind of musical arrangement. There's gonna be quite a big musical aspect to the show.
Yeah. The women also participating in this, because we've also made some incredible strides when it comes to stand-up comedy and being inclusive, especially of women. Tell us about that. Celeste, you said, is part of the lineup.
There are no women in this show. It's like we're keeping it old school. We're keeping it like really hard, like no white people as well. No, I'm joking.
Conrad, you are banned.
We've got Celeste. There's a couple other women that are going to be announced like in the week, probably tomorrow. But it's a very kind of strong female-centric type of show as well. And I mean, I think coming from that idea of the Rainbow Nation, I think we're making fun of this kind of Rainbow Nation thing that we started with. Where are we now? It's like I think that's why we call it DemoCRAZY. It's like there was this kind of hopeful time 30 years ago, and then we've had like a sort of a cycle. We're like, as a country, we're sort of a millennial, and for me, I'm looking at it as like a reboot type of idea. Like it's like coming into like we are mature democracy, a crazy democracy.
Does a reboot also look like I'm just going to throw that out here because I want your comment on this. a burning of a South African flag and then unburning it.
Yeah, I mean,
is that what a reboot is?
I don't know. That's just a weird thing. I mean, I was like, what the hell is going on here? I thought that they made too much of that as well. I guess it's this period of campaigning and politicking and all of that type of stuff that when I saw that, I was like, pfft. I mean, whatever the statement they're making there wasn't as fiery or as, controversial as it's been made out to be. I feel like whatever the government, the presidency, or whoever was against that,
the Minister of Arts and Culture.
They gave it all it needed. If I was a campaign manager, I'd be like, yes, it worked.
It worked, but sometimes also divisive. But that's something that you guys know and understand in the comedy space. A bit earlier on, we were speaking to the CEO of the Loris about Satire, and I wonder from your observation, how far do you think we have come as a country with Satire, also taking into consideration the past, before the Big Bang happened, before 1994?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've always been robust. We're a funny nation. I think before the Big Bang, as you call it, there was
you called it the Big Bang.
I mean, but you took it on. Okay. It's like we've coined it now this morning, the Big Bang. There was apartheid and then pow! I think satire has been very healthy. I think you've seen the comedy culture of South Africa. Before the Big Bang, there was those Evita Beseda notes and, yes, Peter Dick A's characters. I think Sampear was kind of bubbling. He was like the young satirist, cartoonist. And then beyond that, I remember when we did Late Night News with Loyiso Gola, people always wondered if we get into trouble with the politicians, and we never did. Like, the only time we got into trouble was with Bad Bread from Big Brother. Remember that guy? He used to roll with Kulubuse Zuma.
Yes,
and he's the only guy that ever threatened anybody's life or anything like that. Other than that, everybody rolled with it.
Even that choice for e-media to say that let's have a late night news with Loyiso Gola, knowing very well how controversial it could be and divisive sometimes it could be.
Yeah,
that was a bold step for our democracy
exactly. Yeah. People like Nando's do this. I mean, I feel like we don't have this problem as a country, and I think it's like one of these things that we guard very kind of like strongly. We protect our right to be able to say these types of things, to speak truth to power. Stand-up comedy is like huge. We produced like your Trevor Noahs, your Loyiso Golas, your Skumbas and Popses of the world.
Yes.
So it's I wouldn't stress about that. We're not there yet.
You're not there yet.
We're not there. I don't think we'll get there. I mean, there's like, look at you, kind of here as this young voice. I see you on social media. I see you here. You're quite an expressive character. And, I don't think you ever worry. You don't drive a bulletproof car, do you? Not yet, right?
Not yet. But before we wrap up the conversation, just one last hit for people who want to come out and witness this DemoCRAZY, the roast of South Africa. How do they get tickets?
So I think web ticket. I didn't find out about this enough.
So they can just Google.
Just Google.
Just
yeah.
Google.
Yeah. I feel like with everything we could just say, just Google, just Google. Yeah. But it's on the 22nd of May at Gold Reef City, and then it's going to be televised, I think, on Election Day.
Yes.
And we're also trying to get partners.
Very intentional, yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get it also out there. Like after it goes on Comedy Central, we're trying to get it to other platforms where, South Africans who don't have like these types of facilities can watch it.
By the way, congratulations on Mufasa, the Lion King.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How does it feel working on such a massive project
It's been
Actually, last week, he was speaking to John Kanye as well. He was joining us in studio.
Oh, he spoke about it? He was
yes,
like,
and he spoke about you also.
And he said, I'm blazing. He said, I'm amazing, taking over.
He was like, I heard the voice, and like, I know that voice. It's Kagiso.
Yeah. I mean, it's been like one of those, because it's like long, animation. It takes years. So I started doing this. It's one of those secrets that you had to keep from everybody for 3-4 years. So I started doing this like 2021, and then it's been exciting working with Barry Jenkins and these types of people, and I think the world is in for a treat. And it's I grew up on The Lion King. I remember going to see The Lion King in 1993 in Pretoria at Stirland, and I remember getting like goosebumps when the sun rose over the Serengeti and that voice does the thing.